The idea of act as if nothing bothers you has a profound resonance in today's fast-paced society, particularly when seen from the perspective of Stoic philosophy. Ancient Greek philosophy known as Stoicism shows us how to develop inner serenity and fortitude in the face of the unavoidable difficulties that come with life. Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius are among the important thinkers who established the foundation for this philosophy and provided ageless insight that is still applicable today. Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius highlighted the value of introspection and the influence of our minds. His meditations serve as a reminder that although we are powerless over outside forces, we do have influence over how we respond to them. The philosopher and former slave Epictetus believed that our perceptions create our reality and advised us to accept the things we cannot alter and concentrate on the things we can. The playwright and statesman Seneca emphasized the need of emotional restraint and argued for living a life dictated by reason as opposed to passion. Our aim as we explore this subject is to bring you practical, useful insights that you may use in your day-to-day life. Acting as though nothing is bothering you is not about repressing feelings. Rather, it's about strengthening your mental fortitude and emotional self-control. We can handle life's ups and downs with grace and calmness if we adopt this Stoic idea. Come learn how these age-old lessons may give you the confidence to take on obstacles head-on and cultivate an optimistic outlook in the face of hardship. Recognizing the mind's power. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength, said the renowned Marcus Aurelius. This insightful quotation perfectly captures the spirit of Stoic philosophy by highlighting the idea that our emotions are determined by how we perceive and respond to our surroundings rather than by the outside world. Acknowledging this capability is essential to preserving mental clarity and emotional equilibrium in an unpredictable environment. The ability to think clearly is essential for personal development. It entails having the capacity to regulate ideas, feelings, and actions in a way that promotes flexibility and resilience. By strengthening our thoughts, we enable ourselves to face difficulties head-on and avoid giving in to hopelessness or pessimism. This change in viewpoint has the power to profoundly alter our life. Imagine that someone is going to lose their job. Even while the external occurrence is clearly difficult, one might use this setback as a chance for personal development by adopting a different perspective. Rather than considering it a failure, one may see it as an opportunity to learn new skills or pursue other employment opportunities. Comparably, when disagreements occur in relationships, emphasizing understanding as opposed to placing blame can result in stronger bonds and successful settlements. Accepting that we are in charge of our thoughts helps us deal with obstacles in life more skillfully. This knowledge not only promotes resilience but also a proactive attitude towards self-improvement. Aurelius's wisdom has many ramifications, and when we investigate them, we find that the real power is inside each of us, just waiting to be used for a more satisfying existence. The significance of response. Prominent Stoic philosopher Epictetus had a deep understanding of the importance of our responses to situations. He imparted the knowledge that although we are powerless over outside events, we are in total control of how we react to them. It's important to remember that while circumstances are frequently out of our control, how we respond to them is totally within our control. We may develop a mindset that is more resilient and powerful by acknowledging this distinction. It's simple to feel overwhelmed by a bad situation, whether it's an unpleasant discussion, a setback at work, or unexpected news, when presented with it. But Epictetus advises us to change our attention from the incident to how we react. This change enables us to recover our emotional condition and face difficulties with more calm and clarity. We have the option to reply carefully rather than rashly. Several useful tactics may be used to enhance our emotional reactions under trying circumstances. Start by being aware. A more controlled response may be achieved by taking a minute to calm yourself, breathe, and put some distance between the situation and your answer. Second, change the way you think. Consider a setback as a teaching opportunity rather than as a sign of failure. This change in viewpoint has the power to dramatically modify your emotional reaction. Finally, create a network of support. Talking about your ideas and emotions with mentors or close friends might help you get important perspective and improve the way you handle your emotions. Accepting Epictetus's lessons can help us become masters of our responses, which will result in a more contented and balanced existence. Recall that our responses to the circumstances determine us, not the events themselves. Realistic fears versus imagined fears. Renowned Stoic philosopher Seneca provided significant insights on the nature of pain, notably pointing out that we frequently experience greater anguish in our minds than in actuality. This comment draws attention to a typical human tendency. Our worries and anxieties sometimes magnify the issues we confront, causing us to feel distressed in proportion to the real difficulties. We may start to loosen the hold that imagined fears have over our lives by comprehending this idea. Our imaginations are remarkably good at exaggerating anxieties and conjuring up situations that might never come true. For example, even if the actual presentation may be considerably less intimidating, the very concept of presenting one may easily lead to fears of shame, judgment, or failure. It's crucial to distinguish between genuine difficulties and imagined worries in order to counteract this inclination. Cognitive restructuring is a useful strategy that involves actively challenging negative ideas by asking oneself what evidence there is to support such worries. Are they predicated on assumptions or on facts? Furthermore, mindfulness exercises can greatly enhance clarity and lessen anxiety. We may become more grounded in the present moment and be able to examine our thoughts without passing judgment by using practices like writing, deep breathing, or meditation. We may detect when our imagination is taking over and gently refocus our attention to the actual circumstances by developing awareness of our mental processes. By adopting Seneca's wisdom, we may lessen the influence of imagined anxiety and develop a more balanced outlook on life's obstacles by learning to navigate our fears with more ease. Recall that the tales we tell ourselves about our experiences are frequently significantly less terrifying than the reality of them. The finest retaliation. The Stoic philosopher and Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius had a distinctive take on retribution, stating that enduring hardship, while upholding one's morality and integrity, is the greatest kind of retaliation. He thought that reacting positively to negative not only shows personal fortitude but also turns difficult circumstances into chances for development and understanding. It might be easy to react negatively or counterattack during times of conflict or while receiving criticism. But Aurelius shows us that real strength comes from being able to overcome these provocations. By upholding our integrity, we defend our moral fiber and serve as an inspiration to others. This strategy creates an atmosphere in which compassion and understanding may be used to combat negativity, which eventually produces more positive results. Take into consideration how you handle criticism at work if you want to live by this idea every day. Rather of defending yourself, pause to listen and think. Accept the criticism and express your thanks for the chance to do better. This not only shows maturity but may also diffuse the critic and allow for fruitful discussion. Intimate connections provide yet another illustration. When there is disagreement, opt to have calm, open communication instead of responding angrily. Without placing blame, express your thoughts and concentrate on coming to a solution rather than making things worse. By adopting Marcus Aurelius' stance on retribution, we might develop an outlook that values honesty and optimism. By doing this, we not only improve ourselves but also create a more peaceful atmosphere, demonstrating that being true to who we are and leading a fulfilling life is the finest kind of retaliation. Dealing with actual issues. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus observed sagely that a great deal of our concerns are based on imagined fears rather than real issues. This realization is especially important in the fast-paced world of today, when stress and worry may frequently feel unbearable. By giving this statement some thought, we may start to recognize typical anxiety triggers that are usually baseless, freeing us up to concentrate on the things that are really important. The worry of not succeeding is one prevalent cause of anxiety. A lot of people obsessively worry that they won't live up to standards in their personal, professional, or interpersonal interactions. But these anxieties frequently overstate the possible repercussions of failing, which prevents people from acting and instead causes paralysis. The dread of other people's opinions is another reason. Even though we could spend endless hours worrying about how we come across, most people are too busy living their own lives to examine ours as thoroughly as we may think. It is essential to concentrate on practical solutions to actual issues in order to counteract these baseless fears. Instead of being mired in a never-ending loop of anxiety, stand back and evaluate the circumstances. What can I do to address this worry, you ask? Regaining control and clarity can be achieved by breaking down challenges into smaller, more manageable actions. It's crucial to urge viewers to face their anxieties head-on by using reason. Asking yourself if your concerns are founded on assumptions or facts will help you to refute them. Examine the worst-case situation and assess how likely it is. You'll frequently discover that reality is much less intimidating than your imagination makes it seem. We may successfully handle actual issues and lessen the influence of imagined fears in our lives by using this logical approach. In summary, we have examined the deep principles of Stoic philosophy in this video, paying special attention to the significance of mental control and how it impacts our lives. We started out by talking about Marcus Aurelius' observations, which stressed that although we have little influence over external circumstances, we do have control over how we respond to them. This knowledge is essential for preserving emotional equilibrium in an unpredictable environment. We also explored Epictetus' viewpoint on the nature of our concerns, emphasizing how many worries are the result of imagined fears rather than real issues. By realizing this, we can turn our attention to doable fixes and give ourselves the confidence to approach problems logically. We also looked at Seneca's insight on how we often suffer more in our thoughts than in actuality, which prompted us to cultivate awareness and distinguish between our anxieties and the reality of our circumstances. As we come to an end, I urge you to put these Stoic ideas into practice in your day-to-day activities. You may overcome obstacles in life more easily and clearly by developing mental resilience and emotional control, which will eventually enhance your emotional health. If you thought this material was enlightening, please think about enjoying this video, subscribing to our channel, and sharing it with others who might find these lessons useful. Your assistance enables us to provide more worthwhile material that can uplift and empower people as they pursue well-being and personal development. We appreciate you coming, and we're looking forward to talking with you about more fascinating subjects in the future.